All right. Well, episode 2, season 2, Two Addicts and a Moron.
That's a whole lot of twos, man.
Yeah. Well, there's also something a little bit different about today. I don't know if you can tell. Can you guys tell?
I don't know. I feel like I'm the moron right now.
Yeah. Well,
include us.
Well, we all are. We got our first guest.
Yeah.
Ever.
Let's go, man. I'm
Let's
honored.
go. This
honored,
is great.
Honored, grateful, and super excited, man.
Let's go, man. We're happy to have you.
Mr. Tyler Cricchi.
Yes, sir.
This dude is in recovery, right?
Yes, sir.
And you're in music. You're a very busy guy. You hustle all the way around. And we appreciate the shit out of you being here, man.
Absolutely,
Thank you
man.
so much.
Thanks for having me, dude.
Yeah.
I've been watching from afar, man. I enjoy watching what y'all got going on. I think it's different. I think it's awesome to see, right? And I've been telling him, I'm like, whenever y'all are ready to have guests, dude, free of charge, give me a call. I'm hopping on there,
dude.
Man. So
we're honored to have you. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it. Absolutely.
Yeah. So we're gonna get into your story because I think we've heard their story quite a bit, and we thought it'd be good to have another perspective. And but we always get this kicked off by introducing ourselves. So we'll let you go last as the guest of honor. But over here, off to the center left, Joey the Moron.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Joey the moron. And to the left, Jay Klein.
Mike Stewboy, Addict Meth GHB.
And
I am Tyler Cricchi. It's the first time I've introduced myself like that on a podcast, man. You get the real name today.
Yeah.
I am Cricchi. You know? It's I am Cricchi everywhere, though, if you're looking. You know? But, yeah.
no, all right. Well, we always get this kicked off with a little bit of a tradition of ours. So
Yeah, absolutely.
let's
So you've watched, and for those that are just tuning in, we start this off with a moment of silence. I think it's always important that we remember those out there struggling and suffering and those that aren't here with us today. So we do a little moment of silence. So let us bow our heads, close our eyes, get centered, get present. Think about the addict that's still out there suffering and struggling, the family members, the friends that are suffering and struggling with them. Maybe there's someone in recovery currently struggling now, even if they're sober. And the addict that unfortunately could not make it back is not here with us today. Moment of silence. Thank you.
Okay, well, we brought in some new perspective today, and God damn it, we're gonna get it.
Let's get it, man.
So
I'm excited about it. I'm excited.
So Tyler, you want to get into your journey? Let's start with it in addiction.
Yeah,
and then we'll work into the recovery part, into the success story. And then the success story that you are today, because you really are, brother.
I appreciate that.
Very, very happy to have you.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I'll start off by saying childhood, pretty normal. Like I had a great dad, great mom. My dad works for Department of Defense. He's like the head engineer for aerospace warfare for Department of Defense. Crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, right? I know, right?
Wow.
Yeah. And then I may be saying that wrong too, but shout out to my dad, great human being. And then my mom did stuff for the military as well. She works for she's a contractor for Patuxent River Naval Air Station, so she's pretty high up there too. And so life was good. As a kid, parents got divorced at 7. Mental health became a huge thing for me. And then just to fast forward a little bit, like 17, man, is where it all went. It all went downhill. Like I started smoking weed and stuff at like 11. And I wouldn't necessarily ever see that as a problem. Like, I wasn't on the bridge sucking dick for
Yeah.
I ain't never done that for drugs, but you get what I'm saying.
I hear you.
You must have watched one of our recent episodes.
Something like that. But no, it just never was a problem. So 17, I did my first Percocet, and man, it was over from there. Like I threw up all night, was sick all night, and for some reason I still wanted it the next day. And man, life really just went downhill. Like at the time I was working for the union, making more money than the teachers that taught me. I was only 17. I dropped out of school, working for the union, making great money. And I had a car, four-wheeler, dirt bike, truck, just all the things a 17-year-old kid could want. I worked
the
for him.
dream.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, for a 17-year-old kid.
And then like on the route to be making, $60, $70 an hour by the time I'm 27, 28. So it was just like I was in a great place. The more I did pills, the more like nodding out was satisfactory for me. Like that's where I wanted to be every time. I didn't want to be itchy, scratchy. I didn't want to be kind of in my zone. I wanted to be like faded to the world. Yeah. And that started getting in the way, right? Like I lost that job due to like scrapping copper. Like taking copper off job sites and scrapping it and stuff like that. Yeah, man. Dude, we were scrapping like $1,300 to $2,800 a day in copper. Like literally we would pull up to the thing in a work van that was like this. Yeah. And we would like empty the copper out. We wouldn't even strip it because we would have so much. It was like, fuck that extra $1 a pound. We didn't even worry about it. We got 1,000 pounds back here. We're good, dude. But yeah, so it kind of started there, and I think that's kind of where the dishonesty started in my addiction was the stealing copper and doing everything of that. And then, it really just went downhill, man. It was like jail came in the picture when I was 17. I went to an adult jail. I spent a lot of time in juvenile facilities and group homes and like 18-month juvenile camps up in the mountains. Like I spent probably 4 years of my life from 12 to 16 in those camps. You know what I mean? Like just constantly somewhere. Looking back now, it certain aspects of it helped. But a lot of those government ran facilities, man, are they're not good places, top notch. Dude.
Was it like juvenile jail or like military camp? Or
very much so.
Oh, really?
Yeah, very much so. But to be honest, man, I got beat up all the fucking time because it was like I was 13 in these places with kids that were 17, freshly 18 years old. And it was like, I was kind of a spoiled suburban kid that like had a mouth. I was selfish. You know what I mean? So I always found myself getting punched in the fucking face. You know what I mean? And like, I wasn't that good at fighting at the time, So it's like, shit, dude, I just kept getting beat up. But so it was just like, yeah, man, I spent a lot of time like that. And then I think I backtracked a little bit, but I started ending up in jail all the time when I was 17, like just for dumb shit. Like one time cops came to my house because some dude called and said we threatened to burn his house down, which we didn't do. One of my homies was fucking his girl and his girl was at my house. And he got mad and did that. But when the cops showed up, that dude had previously told me like, I'm coming to your house to beat you up. You know what I'm saying? So when the cops pulled up, I walked outside with a gun in my hand. Yeah. You know what I mean? Okay. And it's all cops. Yeah. It's like, so as soon as the flashlight came up and was on me, it was like, oh, first time in jail. There it is. Handgun, underage. I had like a quarter pound of weed. I had pills and money in the safe. They never mentioned that in the arrest report. Pretty sure I know where that went. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? Like that wasn't in the arrest report. So like, thanks. But like also, damn, like you could have left it. But
could have just took half.
Yeah,
fuck.
bro. Like shit, I wouldn't have said nothing. But yeah, man. So that was my first time in jail. I ended up getting out when I was about 19, I want to say, and it was right back to the same shit. Right back to the same shit. It was like every time I got out, I don't even know what I was running from. That's the weird part. Like a lot of times in addiction, you have some type of trauma. I had a great childhood. Like my mom left when I was 7, and I remember that moment. It was a hard one for me when I was a kid, but it wasn't like, God bless them. Like there's some people that have been molested, and so that, somebody like there's people that have had way worse upbringings as a child before drugs than me. Sure. And it's like I just, for some reason it was just like.
Yeah, but trauma's trauma, right?
Yeah,
and there's varying levels of it.
Yeah,
I don't want to undermine yours either.
Yeah, it's always the feeling. So, right, like the feeling that came with it was what triggered that. I don't think it's ever the situation. I think it's the feeling that comes with it, because it's all in scale, right?
Right.
Like if your life's insane, then like I might not be able to relate to what you did,
Right.
but to relate to how you feel would be much easier.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because like I had a very like I was raised by a single mom who, you know, did everything she could to give me a life that she never had.
Yeah.
And you know, in ways, you know, kind of was maybe a little overcompensating to my detriment, if I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
Not that I'm blaming her, but like for me, I didn't have anything to run from either. It was,
You know?
it was, but I never felt okay.
100%.
I never felt accepted.
Even good enough
Right.
for myself,
Right.
not even for anybody else.
it
Yeah.
Just
seemed
like for
whenever
myself.
I was like proud of myself. Like when I remember like vividly, like I would play like kickball in gym class and I
Yeah.
would fucking bomb
Yes.
kickballs.
Yes.
And I, you know, like I'm fucking happy and I'm like, you know, maybe I was a little flashy, but
Yeah.
you know, everyone's like, you know, like don't be happy. And then it's
Yeah.
like, don't be proud of yourself. And I'm like, oh, so I won't be proud of myself then.
You know?
You know,
Yeah.
there was a lot of just like up and down feeling because I was just never content with
I think
me.
we were raised in a very people-pleasing world.
Yeah.
If that makes sense,
Yeah.
right? Like instead of like now with my son, when my son does something, I always say like, how do you feel about it?
Right.
You know, how do you feel about what you just did? And he'll tell me, like, if he's like, I think I did good. It's like, you know, I think you did good too.
Yeah.
Like, I think you did a great job. And I try not to be like, I'm proud of you. Good job. Good that, because my dad did that when I was a kid, and to no fault of his, I'm sure he didn't do it on purpose, but like the I'm proud of yous kind of went away the older I got. It was more like keep growing, keep going, keep pushing. And I think, you know, I looked for that throughout my whole life. So like when I got out of jail and really like hopped in the streets, like as in like in an unreasonable fashion is what I call, I didn't belong there. You know
Right.
what I mean? But when I really hopped in there, it was just like I went the furthest and did the most and acted the dumbest, because it was like those people were telling me like, damn, that shit's hard,
Yeah.
bro. Like, good job.
Yeah.
Like, I'm proud of you for getting that done. You
Right,
know
and in
what
a
I'm
way,
saying?
it's kind of like for me,
I needed that. I wanted that
It was
feeling.
validation. It was like
Yes.
whenever you're somewhere where you don't belong.
Yeah.
I know me. I gotta overcompensate because I got something to prove.
And it's usually always in front of males.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that was the weird part. It was
That's what I was
usually
gonna
always
say.
in
I
front of males.
still want positive affirmation for fucking. I tell my
Yeah.
girlfriend all the time, you got to tell me I'm sexy every day.
Yeah.
You got to tell me I've got the biggest cock in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need
Yeah.
to know that.
Yeah.
Like I want
Yeah.
to know that because even though my ego, people that are around me think my ego's like I'm very positive
It's
and I'm
compensation,
fucking,
man.
But it's compensation
Absolutely.
because a lot of times I don't feel even sober.
Yeah.
I don't feel good enough, or I don't feel as fucking like I go to the gym and I'm like I'm the biggest dude in here. But if someone comes in that's bigger than me, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, this fucking sucks.
You know?
right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I still feel that way
Yeah.
a lot of times.
That's a superpower, man. I
Yeah.
think it is. I think it is if you learn, you know, like if you learn to recognize why you're doing things and then you can change the why. Like when I first got clean, I was doing things because I wanted other people to approve of what I was doing, right? And then the more I got into music and started being myself, like I would start writing these songs strictly for me, not necessarily for the listener, just because like I needed help. I was in a weird space. I needed to vent. And I would write that, and I've come to realize like when you're genuine, that's when people
Yeah.
appreciate it.
yeah.
Well, it's
You
like think of any genre of music. Doesn't matter what your flavor is.
Yeah.
But to me, the best songs that have ever been written lyrically, you can tell there's like deep personal pain or happiness or
Yes.
whatever. But it's the extreme
emotion.
thing. But you
Yeah.
can tell that was something that was for them
From
Yes.
the heart.
and it just happened to hit the rest of
Hunter,
the.
and those can be the biggest songs in the world. That one song, 7 Years Old, that one.
Yeah,
song,
yeah,
7,
yeah.
You could totally tell he wrote that for him.
Yeah, dude.
Totally tell he wrote
Yeah.
that for him. And it was like he wrote that one song, blew up,
Yeah.
and then almost kind of disappeared-ish.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
But it's still it's amazing.
You could
like
tell.
But that's why I tell a lot of people, even if you don't have a talent for writing music like you two guys do,
Yeah.
write stuff down. You know,
100%.
because that really focuses.
It lifts
on,
a weight, too,
It
man.
does.
It lifts a weight.
Puts it on paper. It makes you really think about it and
Yeah.
and get it out there. So you're right. It's a superpower. I'm glad that
Telling you,
you
man.
guys found that. I mean, that's
Yeah.
for sure.
And life is so much better when I quit trying to prove myself,
It is.
you know, and just let the actions speak.
You know what I found helps me a lot with that? is trusting God.
That's
Yeah.
what it is. That's essentially
Bro,
what it is,
seriously.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
and it sounds, to some people that don't necessarily believe in that or like whatever, it's like you have to trust something bigger than yourself. You
Yeah.
can't think you're the biggest thing out here. My sponsor always told me, like, you think you're the biggest motherfucker out here?
Yeah.
Go try to stop a wave. Let me see
Yeah.
it. Like, let me see it. Go stand at the beach and stop a wave from getting there.
Yeah.
If and it's just like that always made sense to me. It was, it kind of made me feel tiny, but at the same time, it's like if you think you're the biggest thing in the world, or if you're the biggest thing in your life, it's like, what is guiding you?
Right.
What is because at that point you don't listen to your morals, you don't listen to that feeling in your gut. It's just like, I got this, and you totally believe in yourself, and like that's good to a certain extent, right? Like, I want to believe in myself when I'm doing things, but what I don't want is to be overconfident and feel like my will is better than the man that created all of this.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
good
And
point.
and it's just like, yeah, man, if God can create he was like, I'll create a desert. Oh, we need animals for there. Here's a camel. They can last this many weeks without water. It's just
Yeah.
like everything's so perfect and put together. Like, how could you not believe that there's something bigger working in your life? You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
It's funny. The other day at work, I called one of the guys at work on his extension, and he didn't answer, and I didn't know it was still going. So, like, in my mind, something in my mind was telling me, like, you're not good enough. You're not good enough. Like, this is like, and I always say that's the devil. That's the devil trying to tell me, like, fuck. So I'm still on the phone, not realizing I'm on his voicemail, and I'm like, I said a quick prayer, and I said, fuck you, devil. You ain't got no power here. Get the fuck out of my ear. Get from behind me. You don't have no power here. Fuck you. And then that was it. So then
That's a hell of a prayer.
Bro,
boy-
check
Go
his
fuck
voicemail.
yourself,
my
motherfucker.
boy checks his voicemail, and he calls me. He says, hey, bro, what the fuck is going on with you this morning? I said, what are you talking about?
You on
He
that
said,
shit, bro?
I just checked my voicemail. I said, oh, shit, don't send that to anybody.
Yeah.
He said, bro, you're talking to the devil. I said, please don't. They're going to think I'm back on meth. This motherfucker relapsed. This motherfucker's high over here. Send his ass home. But, yeah, I was like, I didn't know I was even on the voicemail, bro. But, yeah,
funny
that
as
was
shit.
the because that voice gets in my head a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I'm reading a book right now. It's called Unfuck Yourself.
Yeah.
And he says that we talk to ourselves 6,000 times a day,
Yeah.
constantly. Like, my worst enemy is the person that looks at
my
me in the
God.
mirror.
Yes.
Like, fucking, you're not good
Yes.
enough. You're not good looking. You fucking got, whatever. And if you can figure out a way how to fucking to change that
Beat
voice,
that guy.
beat that fucking voice, like,
Yeah.
that's a superpower.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was watching a thing with Theo Von, and he had Jameis Winston on there,
Yeah.
quarterback, and dude, he said this thing I thought was just so beautiful. He says, "You can't be your biggest cheerleader and your own worst enemy."
Yeah.
I thought that
Yeah.
was just so poignant in how he said that.
Oh, that
'cause-
makes so much sense.
Yeah.
right.
Because
Yeah.
sometimes
Makes
we
so much
are.
sense.
Like,
Yeah. And the more we
And
get
it's-
into it, I'll
it's a
talk about
constant-
that, man.
Just it needs to be one. It needs to be fluid. It needs
Yes. Dude, I struggle with that to this day.
For
Even
sure.
at 5 years, like I'll be doing stuff like, I work to supply the music dream right now. I mean, the
Yeah.
music's going well, like
Yeah.
it's doing really well. But I still work to provide and keep that going. So like I'll be doing things simple as cutting grass, for somebody and be like, oh, this doesn't look that good. Like, oh, you're not doing that good of a
Yeah.
job. And I'll have to, like, the one thing I've learned about the voice in my head is he is a bitch.
Yeah. Y'all do.
Straight
100%.
bitch, bro. Like all he wants to do is fucking talk.
Yeah.
He don't ever want to get nothing done.
Yeah.
He don't ever think anything's good enough.
100%.
Like he's just a bitch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I don't have and when that dude comes into my head, it's like that's my inner bitch talking.
Yeah.
Like that's my inner bitch
Yeah.
being like, you should fuck your life up, or you should do this, you should do that. And like I've gotten to a space where like I'm prideful when I beat that motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it brings me happiness when I beat that motherfucker.
That
Like,
inner bitch is strong,
dude,
though.
it
You know,
is.
like
it is, bro.
it'll
And
get
but
you.
that's a beautiful thing about recovery, and I think it's so beautiful because it's like I don't know if you knew this guy at 30 days clean, but he's a total different human being than he is sitting here right now with the
Right.
time clean he has. It's like you see people start to gain that confidence. Like it's like
Yeah.
you see
Yeah.
people start to be like, maybe I do got this shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I think that's the hardest part about recovery, man, is believing that you got it.
Right.
Believing that, I
And
can
when-
do this.
And when I saw you at sober sessions at Kick Butt Coffee, and I asked you because I love your music, I love what you do, I love you as a person. I'm like, you know, some people just they have what you want. Not that I want exactly what you have.
No,
but it's
for
like,
sure.
It's like there's
absolutely. Those are the people I've watched my whole recovery for sure.
You know, and it's like I asked him like, because I really did want to do a feature.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but then I got to think about the next couple of days, and it's like, dude, I am not. Not that I was putting you on a pedestal, but there's just levels to this shit sometimes, and it's like, I'm not ready right now, dude.
Yeah.
And that's why I didn't contact you about it to follow up.
Yeah.
And then I hit you up 6 months later, and I was like, I'm almost there.
Yeah,
and then,
bro.
3 months later, hey, give me 3 more weeks.
Yeah.
And then, you know, 2 months later,
Yeah.
hey, deposit sent. Let's
Yeah.
get it. You know, like
For
it's
sure.
just, you know.
And I commend you on that, dude. I feel like, and it makes me feel good, if that makes sense. From an outside perspective, it's like I in a way was giving you something to work towards. Like I didn't want to just hand you that. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't because I didn't fuck with you. It was just because I've seen so many people jump in the car for recovery and then just open the door and bail out at 60 miles an hour.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just like open the door and be like, fuck this today.
Yeah.
Straight out, rolling down the yellow line on the other side of the road. You know what I mean? And it was,
That's great.
and it's like if you just hand people shit, a lot of times that's how they end up because they're like, oh, I can get here again.
Right.
You know, I can do this again. But when people have to work for shit and people have to really put the effort in and grind, you appreciate that shit, man.
Yeah.
You appreciate the fuck out of it, you know? So it's like, I appreciated, maybe more than you appreciated me doing it, I appreciated you spinning back because it was like, I wanted you to win, but helping from a distance is almost always my best bet.
Yeah.
If, you know, if somebody's in and out. So it's like, that's what I try to do. But then when they come full circle and they're like, I'm at this point now and
Right.
I'm ready. And it's like, fuck yeah. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like, fuck yeah, dude. I'm proud of you. I love you. Like, I'm glad you kept your head up this long. Now let's meet in the middle and go up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
that's something so true because I see some people in the rooms like what you were saying at 30 days.
Yeah.
They're fucking struggling.
Yeah.
And 60 days, and then sometimes you don't see them anymore.
Yeah.
But then you see the people that are getting their 3-month shift,
You know?
6-month shift,
Yeah.
and 9, and the growth that they've had. Like it just made my
Same.
fucking hair
Literally
tingle.
same. Yeah.
The growth that they had in that time frame is fucking amazing. Like I
Unbelievable.
remember, like when I got to 6 months and then 12 months and 18 months, like my life was just getting better
Yes.
and better.
Yes.
And
Even the hard times got better.
even
Yeah.
the hard times, like
Yeah.
they don't last. And we figure out ways how to get through it.
Absolutely.
Right? We got people we can reach out to or call on,
Yeah.
and fucking are different things that we can do. Yours
Yeah.
is probably music. I like to work out. Whatever you can go do to get your mind off of shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a beautiful thing when you see people start moving up. And it's a beautiful thing when people tell you the same thing. Like people that
Absolutely.
have been in there and they say, man, like your growth, like from when you first started to where you
Yeah.
are now, is just so amazing.
Absolutely.
Like there's
People
nothing.
need that shit, man.
Oh, yeah,
People
for
like
sure.
even I need that shit. I am my own. Like you could never. I put it in a song and I say it all the time. You could never be harder on me than I am on myself.
Yeah.
Like you could never do it.
Yeah.
There's not a day in the world. You could call me anything you want. I've called myself that.
Right.
You can say whatever you want. I've said that shit to myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's just never a day, man. So yeah, dude.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Man.
Well, from the the normie, so background on mine and his relationship, I knew him when he was deep in his
Oh,
meth
okay.
addiction.
Yeah.
And
know
instant
he
connection though. Like
No, he knew. I didn't fucking know. I didn't know he knew it, but I fucking knew it.
yeah,
Tweaked out.
instant connection though with our sense of humor and dark humor and weird humor.
Mm-hmm.
So I could separate what he was doing in his addiction from the man, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then he got sober, and then, but it was still kind of like what you were talking about, like that first 30 days. I kind of still
You
I would
almost
check
don't
in
know.
on him, and
Yeah.
at work we were talking, but I didn't really text him a whole lot. I really didn't call him a whole bunch.
Yeah.
Because I felt like he still just had some work to do on his own.
Yeah.
Right. Like, and I tell him I was proud of him and all those things, but then the first 30 days was tough for him.
Yes.
I knew that. I could smell it on him.
Yeah.
Right.
You can see it
Yeah, you
in their
can
face.
physically see
Yeah.
it. And then 60 days got a little bit better. And I think it was around 90 days when you had your incident with the hair follicle thing where I pulled you aside, like his I'll let you. I know you've said it on there before.
I couldn't get my daughter back overnight until I could pass a hair follicle test.
Yeah.
With
my daughter's mom.
With your daughter's mom.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right?
A drug
And
test, I
a drug
assume, with
test.
the hair
Yeah.
follicle. Yeah.
Yeah.
That lasts a long
And they're
fucking
supposed
time.
to only be 90 days.
Yeah.
Right? Well, I took one like at 107 days. It came back bad.
Yeah.
Right. Took one at 130 days bad.
Yeah.
It took 6 months for mine to actually come back good. And then
Yeah.
what's crazy is like the second one come back worse than the first one.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know how that's possible, but
Yeah.
the second one had coke and methamphetamine and amphetamine.
Sweating it out, man.
I was like, what the fuck? But yeah,
Well, so it was like 90 days at the 3-month where he came out with this timeline. Okay, 90 days, my hair follicle is going to be good, so I'm going to get my daughter back in 90 days.
Expectations,
His
brother.
expectation was just there,
That
right?
shit'll kill you.
So I hadn't really been talking to him much, like outside of the dick and shit jokes that we
Yeah.
would make with each other, and
Cockballs.
yeah, all that stuff. So this happened, and he was fucking losing it, and he said something on the way down in the elevator that like pissed me off because we all at work helped get him into treatment.
Yeah.
You know, so I told him, I was like, I felt like I had skin in the game.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
so
That
he
makes
said
sense.
that he was like, I might as well go out and get high. He said that out loud to me in a lonely elevator. And I
Yeah.
was like, so we walked outside. I was like, hey, dude, we're friends, right? Like real friends. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
Like, I can tell you what I'm about to say without you getting mad.
Yeah, because I'm
Yeah.
about to tell you some shit that you probably don't want to hear, but
Yeah.
you need to hear it. But
Yeah.
you put yourself here.
Yeah.
Like the fucking 10 years before this,
Yeah.
this is the toll that you're having to pay
Yes.
right now for that. So don't fucking blame that lady for being a good mom
Yeah.
to your daughter.
You're a
Don't-
good friend.
Yeah. So I just like, I basically bitched him out
You're a
in a
good
parking
friend.
lot. But
That's the bottom line, man.
But then after that, we got super tight at
That's-
that point.
that's how it
And
should be.
And then it was,
You know,
then we
after,
start talking about this and everything.
Yes, men are never the ones you want in
Yeah.
the room. That's a
after
good
that, I
friend.
started looking at it like that. Like when I got 30 and 60 days, I'm like, well, I'm fucking sober now. Fucking treat me like that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm entitled now, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot
But
of that.
Even
There
when-
was-
yeah.
There was 12 months of 10 years, 120 months that I wasn't.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
But because I'm sober now, I want you to treat me like I was never a fuck boy for 10 years.
Come on.
And that's exactly what
Yeah.
he told me in that elevator that day. And I was like, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Like my daughter's mom watched the first episode and she said she couldn't watch anymore because it brought back too much pain for her.
Okay. Yeah.
And we've been split up for almost 9 years.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the damage that I caused to
100%.
a wonderful person.
yeah.
And I can't expect that just to go away, even now.
Yeah.
Like she still holds me accountable now, and I'm almost two and a half years sober, but I still haven't erased 10 years.
Absolutely.
Right.
Right.
And because of that
Absolutely.
talk, when other people come to me and say, man, they're fucking think I'm high and stuff, I'm like, well, that's what you did to yourself.
Yeah.
Because someone told me this and
Yeah.
it made so much sense.
Absolutely.
I'm going to tell you that that's the damage that you caused.
Yep.
And you're going to go through that for a long fucking time.
Yeah.
Until you overcome those 10 years. Someone told me if you were high for 10 years, it's going to take 20 to erase it.
You know,
Right.
You know?
for real. I mean, think about it. They remember the bad things.
Yeah.
For sure.
9 out of 10 times, you know, they remember the bad things.
So I kind of want to also, revert back to your story a little
For
bit.
sure.
I guess let's. So, we're having mixed up emotions. There's really uncertainty of I don't know why I'm grabbing these pills, but
Yeah.
So where was the realization, or what were some situations that happened that kind of, did that log your mind like, damn, maybe I might be an addict, or this happened, or these are
Man.
happening, or where was your?
I was in jail. And I had a dope bill of $40 that made it to where I couldn't get any more dope when I was in jail.
$40?
It was a $40 bill.
Yeah.
It was a $40 bill. I couldn't get any more dope while I was in jail. The dude that had the dope was,
In jail.
Yeah, the
Okay.
dude that had the dope in jail was running like his own little thing. He didn't
Yeah.
have like little homies. He didn't. So anyway, when that dope bill was there, I was thinking like, well, if I get them out of the pod, somebody else will have the dope, and then I can get dope from them.
Right.
So I waited till bro fell asleep. went in his cell and did my best to fuck his ass up. Like,
Yeah.
did my best to beat the fuck out of him to where they would see his face and be like, we got to get him out of the pod.
Right.
It worked. They got him out of the pod. But next day, I got trashed, like, by multiple inmates.
Yeah.
Beat, like, all the other kids that liked his dope.
Yeah.
Didn't like it.
Yeah, no,
You know what I'm
point,
saying?
yeah.
So it was like, I got fucking trashed.
Yeah.
And it was in that moment when I wasn't thinking about how fucked up I looked. I wasn't thinking about how I got beat up. I wasn't thinking call mom or dad. I was thinking, like, if they take me to the hospital, how am I going to get dope? Like, how am I going to get high again if they take me to the hospital from this? Like, what do I got to do? And like, it was that night I was in medical holding and I was sitting in there and like, I'm just thinking to myself, like, every time, it doesn't matter where you're at, what you're doing, what you're going through. Every time you're given a choice to destroy happiness, you do it.
Yeah.
It's like you're scared to win. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's like the conversation I had with myself. And that's where I kind of started noticing that there were probably some tendencies of an addict. And it probably wasn't till like my 7th or 8th time in rehab, getting out and relapsing again, that I was like, I really might have a fucking problem, man.
Yeah.
I wrote that. Like, a lot of times I always say, when you see people walk into an NA room on their 2 feet and they walk in, a lot of times they turn around and they walk back out.
Yeah.
But when you see motherfuckers crawl in that door,
Yeah.
those are the ones that stay.
Yeah.
Like, when you see motherfuckers crawling in, begging you for any type of lead that will take them away from what they just went through,
Yeah.
that is those are the people that stay. Like, I did not pay. I literally, when I went to rehab, I paid attention to the staff. I sat in the staff offices.
Yeah.
I sat around the staff and all this stuff. Like, I wanted to know, like, these kids in here are cool, you know, like, they're all trying to do the same thing I am, and that's cool. But like, you motherfuckers have 5, 6, 20 years sober,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and like a home, a family. People don't fucking hate you. People don't look at you like you're this thief that might pull out a gun and rob them. Like, they don't look at you like that. And I want that. I want that. You know what I mean? And dude, man, yeah. When we get to talking about recovery, I'll tell you the rehab experience. I mean, this whole situation this time around has been so different. Like how you were saying, like, when you get out of rehab and you have that feeling like, motherfucker, I'm clean, treat me like it.
Yeah.
I had that mindset every time until it was the 12th time I went to rehab. This time around, March 14th, 2019 is when that was the last piece of Suboxone I took, was the 13th. So the 14th was my first real sober day. Shit, I forgot why I said that. I lost my train of thought. What was I saying right before that?
About the rehab.
The rehab
first
experience. 12th
there we
time.
go. Yeah. So like, when I got out the 12th time, I literally had the farthest thing from that mindset. Like, my mindset was, I'm a piece of shit. I'm no good to anybody. I've destroyed everything I loved. I've hurt people in ways that are hard to fathom by human beings. Like, I've seen things that no man should have to see. It's like, I am at my lowest. Help me. Like,
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck what I got to do. I don't care. If you tell me to eat dog shit for 10 days and that's going to change my life,
Yeah.
then I'm fucking
ready.
I'm going to the
I'm
dog
ready.
park.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
let's
saying?
go.
There's an endless supply out
Yeah.
there.
I'll walk anyone's dog for free.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, right. Free dog walks. My sponsor says I need dog shit daily. Yeah, man.
I don't even need to use your bags. I
Yeah,
got
you
this.
know, yeah. So it was just like, really, man. It didn't matter what I did. I wanted different. And there was a situation that led up to that. So basically, this time around, I was in Baltimore. We were I got into robbing people.
Is that where you're from?
No, I'm from Southern Maryland, small county outside of Baltimore. But what I realized was, if you rob drug dealers, they won't call the police. And then I realized drug dealers in the county had way less drugs than the drug dealers in the city.
Yeah.
And they also had way less money. You know what I mean? So it's like, you'd rob them and get, 50 fentanyl pills and
Yeah.
$2,000. You go to the city, you're hitting, a quarter key of fentanyl pills and 10, 20 grand. So it's like, man, I got into that stuff real heavy, and it never really went wrong. I was a very calculated individual still, even on drugs. I was very calculated. I would scope my places out. I would try to find people to go in and buy shit. and then tell me what the layout of the house looked like. Like I was very meticulous, and I was good at it, not in a bragging way,
Yeah.
but like that's what I was good at.
Yeah.
Man, it just went wrong one time. I took somebody else with me, and it went wrong. Somebody shot at me, missed me, and hit two separate shots. One hit a female, the other hit a child, and I literally watched that. Like I watched that. It almost brings tears to my eyes talking about it. Like I watched that happen, and it fucked me up so bad. I got in the car, drove back past the people that we had just robbed. Like they were shooting. I don't know if it was at me. I was literally in a trance after I saw that. So I just heard it, and I was driving. The dude that I took got shot in the neck, right? Hit in the neck. I literally thought he died. I was 99.9% positive. I watched him get hit. I watched him hit the ground. I watched him go out. Like I thought he was dead. So I got in my car. I'm driving home. I had got like a pack and a half of dope, which was like 75 pills or something like that. I threw it out the window on the way home. I threw the dope out the window. Didn't even want it. I got home and I called my friend Los. Avail Visuals is the name of his company. Shout out to that guy. I called him. He was in recovery. And this is my first real experience with recovery. Like I'd been in and out of the rooms and stuff, but I'd never tested like the strength of recovery.
Yeah.
So I called him and I told him, like, bro, I'm going to kill myself or I need help. Like that's where I'm at. I'm not at a place where like, I'm at a place where like I'm either gonna do this right now and end my shit because I'm sick of this, or I need help. Like I need genuine help. That guy called B Rain, who his name is Brian. Why can't I think of his last name? I'll think of it. But B Rain is his rap name. Great guy. Brian McCall. Brian McCall is his name. So, right? Yeah, I think. So Los called him. He from like Baltimore area ish. He called some other girl in recovery. That girl called some other guy in recovery, and there was no rehab within 6 hours of my house that could get me in that night. But all these people were my friends while I was in active addiction. They knew that when I said something, that's what I meant. Like if I say I'm gonna off my shit tonight or I need help, they knew that it was like
some serious
this is
shit.
really gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he called them and dude, it was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. I called my mom and dad. I was like, I'm going to Texas to rehab. I don't need any money from you. I don't need anything. I just wanted to let you know I'm going. They're all like, what the fuck? Like usually you go to rehab, you're like, I need $800.
Yeah,
I need this.
something.
I told him, I was like, I don't even have a bag packed. I don't need shit. Like I need help. Like
Yeah.
I was literally so broken. And so my mom took me to Waldorf. It's about an hour and 10-minute drive. Waldorf, Wawa, some girl that I've never met in my life. Never met this girl in my life. She's got a year and a half clean.
Shout out to the Wawa, by the way.
Yeah, too. I love love a good Wawa. So you're good. She picked me up from there, drove me from Wawa. I want to say it was all the way to Virginia, from Waldorf to Virginia. That's like a 2-hour drive. Not drop me off, but another guy met us at another gas station
Fucking crazy.
in Virginia in recovery. Took me from Virginia another 4 hours all the way to where is that? Where's Camden? New Jersey.
Okay.
Took me all the way to New Jersey from there. Right?
Damn, dude.
Got me in a rehab like 4:30 in the morning. Right? 4:30 in the morning. It was probably about 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. And got me into a rehab, right? Man, that and this is why I got out with that feeling of like, not without that feeling of like, treat me normal. I got sober.
Mm-hmm.
I got in that rehab, and come to find out, the dope that I was doing had benzos in it, had meth in it, it had fentanyl in it. I knew there was fentanyl. That's what I wanted, but all the other stuff was kind of a surprise to me. So when I started going through withdrawals, I had an infection. What's that thing? You had the same thing. Arm swell up, sepsis.
Oh, cellulitis.
Yes. So like, I mean, my hands look like boxing gloves. My arms were huge. And to be honest, this is a crazy story. So I shot up one time in my dick. I didn't have any veins. I tried to shoot up in my dick. Seriously, and I missed.
Wow.
There was,
Oh my God.
There was,
Oh, no.
There was meth in the dope that I missed.
Oh, no.
Listen. This is an untold story right here.
Yeah.
You guys,
Let's go.
bro. Listen, it gets way worse. This is the first time I've ever told this story on a podcast. Anyway,
Yeah.
so I shot up in my dick. I missed, right? So I missed. Now I got this like big bubble on the head of my dick from missing.
No.
Dude, it gets worse.
Dude, this is
So it's bad. So listen. So rewind a little bit. For like a week before the robbery happened, that went wrong. I had that on my dick, like this thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like waddling around Baltimore to get my dope with this fucking thing, right? And so anyways,
dick.
when that incident happened, I got to rehab. They tested me and they were like, "Oh, you have an infection." When I started going through withdrawals, the withdrawal and the infection next to each other got so bad that it almost killed me. It literally shut down my body. I couldn't talk, couldn't use my feet, couldn't use my hands. I couldn't move my arms. Like I could lay in bed and I could do this.
Oh my goodness.
That's what I could do. So they check on you when you're withdrawing. They check on you every couple hours. At one point, she came in there and I couldn't talk. I couldn't do anything, and I'd shit the bed.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't get up. I
Yeah.
shit the bed. And so they took me to a hospital. I spent 4 days in a hospital on what are those things called? The things that kind of knock you out, like almost like put you in like a sleep.
Oh, a coma? medical
No, I wasn't in a coma.
Like the gas shit they give you at the dentist?
No, it was a shot, but it was the same thing where it was just like it puts your whole body in a rest state.
It's a rest.
Yeah, like where your body doesn't want to like
Yeah.
pulse and throw up, and because I was throwing up so much, it
Yeah.
was like I was on the verge of literally dying due to infection and withdrawal. And so 4 days of that shit, I like hallucinated, thought I was at like the Mexican border in a shipping container getting sent through. This is no lie. Like that's literally what my brain was telling me. Like I woke up and asked the nurse, who was Hispanic, crazy enough. I was like, am I in Mexico? And she's like, no, you're in the United States. And this is your 4th day in here. We've taken you off of the, there's a name for that kind of drug. Like
Ativan?
No, there's a name for the category of
word,
drugs
okay.
when they like basically kind of make you unconscious type deal.
Anesthesia.
No, almost,
Okay.
almost, but it's like a relaxant. I can't think of it. But anyway, so after pissing and shitting on myself for days and not being able to get up and do all these things, like I was at a point where I felt so much less than. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the crazy thing is, this happened in the hospital, and it's literally what gave me hope. It's literally what gave me hope. This guy was in the hospital. I don't know for what, but he was on the same floor as me, and you could tell he was an addict. Like you could tell he had this stuff on it. Like you could just tell he was still using. And he walked past my room, and he was like, "Are you sick?" And I was on the verge of being able to kind of get words out, but they were very raspy, very dry throat, and I told him, I was like, "Yes," and he was like, "Let me bring you some dope." And I literally just said, I was like, "Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out." Like in my mind, it was like, I'm 5 days through this. If I can make it another 5,
Yeah.
I'll be in a better place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I was so done. And it was just that exact moment that was like, I can do this. Like if I do that every time, if I just say every time, like even if I am that aggravated, like that, much of a dickhead about it, where I'm like, get the fuck away from me before I punch you in your shit. You know what I mean? Like if I just do that every time, like I can make it through this, and that's kind of when I realized, man, it was possible, dude. And then the road to recovery started, man. And that was it's been the most beautiful thing in my life,
Hey, let's go like 15 or 20 more on this one. Yeah. Is that fine?
You're good with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long have we been doing it? 45? Let's
Yeah,
go.
well,
really?
15.
Yeah, dude.
time's
it-
Crazy, bro.
Faster than me and
Well,
Rick.
I do want to
You know
get
what
to
I'm
the recovery
Yeah.
Yeah,
side
bro,
of things.
dude, I'm here
Let's
as
get
long
into
as y'all
that.
need me.
So
yeah.
let's talk about your road in recovery, dude. That, by the way, that's fucking insane.
Dude,
what you just said.
I've never
Like,
heard of
Man.
someone shooting in their cock before. I've always
real?
wondered.
Oh, I didn't even finish that. bro.
Yeah, you said it got
Dude,
worse. Let's
wait,
hear
there's
that.
Yeah, dude, literally that bubble infection turned into a scab, turned into like almost like a third of my dickhead was like missing. This is no joke, bro. They had to give me so when it was healing, like my dick hole would like scab shut, and like when I had to pee, it would have to like reopen.
oh
Dude,
my God.
it was fucking. I thought I was gonna lose my dick. I really did. This isn't a lie.
No,
I genuinely
I would
believe
too, dude.
I
Like-
was gonna lose my dick. Like I told my mom and everything. I was like, "Mom, you're gonna cut my dick off." Like, you know,
I'm gonna
But,
be a girl now. I'm
yeah,
gonna
bro.
be a girl.
That shit got so bad, bro. Like, so the infection got so bad, and the crazy part, the madness about it, is that it was like that for like a month. It took a month to get there. If I would have just went to a doctor and
Yeah.
been like, "This is my problem," they would have given me an antibiotic, and it would have been gone. But instead, it literally took to be on the verge of death.
Yeah.
Like literally on the verge of death. I couldn't function. I couldn't get up and walk. All my muscles were surrounded by liquid and weak. And it was just like, it took that for me to be like, okay.
That's enough.
I need
Enough
help.
is enough.
Yeah. You know? And it wasn't even that by itself. It was that situation that I saw that
Yeah.
really sent me over the edge. And it's just like, man, that's insanity. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like that's insanity.
Yeah, it's always crazy, like where we were,
Yeah.
and then where you are now. When you look back, it's like there's no fucking way I would do that today.
I tell people all the time, they're like, "Do you think about relapsing?" I'm like, "Fuck no,
No.
Fuck." Every time I think about relapsing, I think about my dick falling off.
Yeah. Hey,
You know what I'm saying?
and you can speak intelligently
Yo,
about
for
it,
real,
dude. You know?
bro. That shit was fucking scary,
Yeah.
bro.
I
get high
That shit
now.
was
I don't wanna
scary.
lose my dick.
shit's fine now. Like it
Yeah.
looks normal and everything.
Yeah.
But fuck.
And
Yeah.
that was always my main MO. Like, I have to be pushed to the brink every time with everything.
I got to take it the furthest.
in order for it to me, for it to click.
Yeah.
Not just in recovery and
Everything.
like, finally, I've like reached a point where it's like in my life and just in all areas where it's like I don't got to push it to the limits. And
Yeah.
because I already know, even throughout the whole course, I know the route to take and probably the outcome that's going to happen.
know?
But I'm just, again, I want control. I want my will, and I got
Yeah.
expectations, and I know better, and I can finesse this thing and build it, and and manufacture it into exactly how I think it should go and be.
Yeah.
And it's so freeing just to let things develop and happen naturally. And
Absolutely. And at some point you realize it becomes a choice, right? Like
Right.
people say using's not a choice. And it's like, to me, it's not when you're in active addiction. You're
Right.
physically dependent on that substance.
Yeah.
But when you get clean and you get to these time periods where it's like you don't need it and you're just mentally thinking about it, it's almost a choice at that point, because it's like if you can train your brain to process things differently, instead of taking something and being like, that makes me want to go get high, you take it and train your brain to think, that makes me want to go write music, that makes me want to go build something, that makes me want to, that becomes the choice. Like right now you're at a point where if you relapse, it'd be total choice. Like you had no physical dependency, you had no push
withdrawals,
yeah,
none
you know,
of that
and it's
bullshit.
like, and the alcohol people are the ones I feel the worst for, because it's like no matter where the fuck you go,
It's
you're
there.
not doing nothing wrong.
Yeah.
You're only doing something wrong to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Heroin addicts, it's like when we relapse, we fucking know.
Yeah.
We know we're doing something wrong. We got to go out of our way. We got to make a secret phone call. We got to drive somewhere secret. We got to hide it when we shoot it up.
Yeah.
We got to hide the marks. We got to do, like, dope heads know when you're fucking up. You
I
know
gotta,
what
I
I
gotta
mean?
research what diabetes medication I'm on that I'm not taking so I can get needles.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, for real.
Oh, and then if you don't sell them to me, I'm gonna throw a fit. How dare you not give me my medication utensil?
You know what I mean?
need this.
Yeah. What if I die in an hour in the parking lot? You know?
I'm gonna sue you.
Yeah, you know.
Oh, I've done that before.
It's like,
Not gonna
yeah,
give me
bro.
my syringes. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Kind of establishing it is this.
I used to always tell them,
Yeah.
what if I was a crackhead and I was using someone else's needle and I got AIDS from it? I'm coming back and suing you.
Right.
You
And
know.
they're like, sir, that's just our policy. Like, your policy fucking sucks.
I'm going to my home Walgreens on Runberg.
Your policy doesn't cater to us dope fiends, and we don't fucking appreciate
I knew I shouldn't have came out to Leander Walgreens.
it. Fucking rich, snooty people hating on the dope fiends, dude. Yeah.
Man, dude.
So what's your in your recovery, like, do you have children? I know
I do now. Yeah, I have one baby boy, and,
And I know from your lyrics, your son is
that's my
I'm gonna
dude,
start
bro.
listening to your music. I didn't know until today. I
Unreal.
didn't meet you until today.
Okay, hell
And
yeah.
and then like I friend requested you whenever he said that we were gonna bring you on,
Yeah.
and then when I met you outside, when you came in the house and we started chopping it up, I was like, dude, I'll fuck with this dude.
Thank
like,
you, man.
100%. Like that. It's amazing. Like we're the same fucking type,
Yeah.
all four of us. Like we could fucking go and JV2. We'd probably corrupt the fuck out of him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, man, I'll fuck with this. But I didn't know that you did music. But was that so? You're baby and then you're married, right?
Yeah, yep, yeah. We so I got clean March 14th, 2019. Came to Texas, went to Recovery Unplugged. That place changed my fucking
out
life.
RU.
Dude. That and some people say it's not the same as it used to be, but I tell you what, when I went there, those people that worked there fucking cared. Mm-hmm. They fucking cared. Yeah. They made me cry, dude. Like my second day there was, I'm sorry, so March 24th is my birthday. March 14th I got clean, so I was probably maybe like a week there. I hadn't talked to anybody. I was still traumatized from the shit I saw. All I wanted to do was beat somebody's face in. Like, that's all I wanted to do. I wanted somebody to say something wrong so I could beat the fuck out of them and feel better about myself. That's what I wanted. And like for a whole week, I never like talked to anybody. I'd give one word answers. And dude, these motherfuckers, man, I was in my room like I always was in between the meetings. Didn't want to talk to nobody. And one of the girl staff members came back. Her name was Brittany. Nicest fuck. I love Brittany O'Malley.
Oh, I love Brittany.
Love that
Shout out
girl,
Brittany.
man, dude. And she came back there and got me. Said, come out here, we have something for you. And I'm thinking like they're gonna discharge me for not participating.
Yeah.
I've been kicked out of fucking 11 of the 12 rehabs I've been to, that being the 12. So I was like, oh,
Here we go.
Here we go.
this streak don't ever fail.
Yeah.
You know? And she didn't, man. She called me out there, and as soon as I hit the threshold of the door, I turned the corner, and everybody from the rehab standing there with a fucking birthday cake, bro. I had not had a birthday in fucking 15 years. You know what I mean? Bro. I mean, teary-eyed now thinking about it. When them motherfuckers brought that cake out, bro, it changed my life. I literally went from like, I want to kill all of you to like, I want to hug you motherfuckers. Like, you made me realize that there is love in this world.
Yeah.
You know, like the place I came from, there wasn't that. There was no love. There was no anything. Like if somebody said something to you, shoot them or beat them the fuck up or move away.
Wow.
You know, and it was like to get a fucking birthday cake, bro, and a strawberry with strawberries on it, like the ones that I liked. Like somehow they, like how the fuck did you even know that you know what I'm saying? Would you go research my 6th birthday on my Facebook page?
But at that point, it probably didn't matter. You
No,
know,
dude,
like
it was just the principle of the gesture.
No, it's the fucking thought.
Yeah,
Like,
dude, that was just like fuck, man, and that was a break,
game changer.
a fucking breakthrough. I started hugging people, started telling people thank you, started telling them I loved them,
Participating.
And it was like literally 2 weeks later, they were like, "You're getting promoted to inpatient manager, like the not
Community
inpatient,
leader.
yeah. Thank you, that's the name for it, community leader, where it's like you show people what to do, and even that was like." That was like, fuck, man. Because like I said, you can't be harder on me than I am on myself.
Yeah.
I still, to this day, think I don't deserve half the shit. I think I worked for it.
Yeah.
I think I fucking earned it.
Right.
But sometimes I don't think I deserve it.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And man, those people just, fuck, man. They made me realize that it was like, no matter how broken, how fucked up, or who you are, like you deserve love. You
Yeah.
deserve
We still
love.
love you.
You deserve trust. You deserve compassion, empathy, maybe not sympathy, but empathy.
Yeah.
And man, that was such a swivel moment for me. My whole mindset changed. It was like, I'll listen to these people. I'll take heed from these people. I'll do whatever they want me to do. I convinced like 3 people to stay in rehab while I was there. Did just things that I would never see myself doing.
Sometimes it's the smallest shit though. Like the tiniest little
It
things.
is.
It's
It
like,
almost is always.
Yeah.
The small shit.
Yeah, that like really flips the way that you
switch, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm really happy that happened for you. I mean,
Thanks,
that
man.
sounds like, well, I'm happy that it all happened for you, but I'm happy that moment,
That pivotal
that
moment.
fucking moment happened for you, because I feel like life is just filled with little tiny moments.
It is, man.
And
it is.
Some people miss that shit.
And I'll tell
you
you
miss
what,
it for
dude,
someone else.
It takes a
like-
second to make a moment.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Takes
what
a
I
fucking
mean.
second to make a moment, dude.
Yeah.
That's why every child I see, if I'm at the dirt bike track, I ride all the time, and every child I see, I love your music, da 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 da. Even if I'm in a hurry,
Yeah.
it's like I'm gonna take the 35 seconds to talk to this child
Yeah.
and tell them how much I appreciate them, tell them how good of a kid they are, tell them how far they can go in life if they just never give up, right?
Yeah.
And for all I know, 25 years down the road, this kid could be sitting on a podcast somewhere telling people, this dude at the dirt bike track stopped and talked to me for 30 seconds and told me I could get anywhere, and here the fuck I am. I believed him, so here I am.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You just never fucking know, dude.
Never know.
You never know, you know?
Yep. I always say you never know what people are going through. You never know what a smallest little gesture
You
will
never know
fucking
how much
bring
you
them.
could help,
Yep.
dude. Like them at that rehab may not even know. That birthday cake changed my life.
You
Yeah.
almost cried when you said that. I know that you
I
probably almost
did,
cried.
dude. I was getting.
Hey,
I was sitting here looking.
We were like, we were
fuck,
teary-eyed
we're
together,
pussies.
bro.
Yeah, bro. I was
Yeah,
like,
no,
God,
dude, fuck yeah. I'm emotional as fuck. The
am
Voice,
too.
you know that show?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Anytime the coaches turn around,
Yeah.
and the mom's back
Yeah, the
there, I'm
mom's
like,
back there
fuck
crying.
yeah,
bro.
Like, mama, we could do that.
We drove in from Dallas yesterday and Destiny fell asleep, and I watched The Voice blind auditions for
Yeah.
the last hour that I drove and just fucking cried.
Dude, that's for real, bro. Like the golden buzzer on American
Yeah.
Idol. I'm always like, oh, fuck.
well, just all that shit. Like I cried when Iron Man died in the fucking Marvel
You know?
movie. Yeah, like God damn.
Yeah, bro.
So how's
Yeah.
recovery for you now?
Oh my god, bro. Man, it looks a little different, I will say. Like I'm not a huge meeting goer right now. I think that's just a part of my process. I do like to go to them occasionally because I never want to forget where I came from, and I love to step in those rooms and you know, I think the farther you get, the more you have a glow about you, and the more it's like people want what you have. And so it's like often I'll step in those rooms just to see if there's someone in there that's like, hey man, what do you do? Or hey, how do you, and that, you know, I feel like God put them in line with me, and I'm here to help them in any way I can, just like him. Like any way I can help, bro. Literally any way I can help. I don't care. It's whatever it takes to help you get to the next best step, I'll do that, because that's what people did for me. And if like B-Rain, when I got out of New Jersey detox, I was supposed to go back to Baltimore to a rehab. He literally worked for the rehab I was supposed to go to. He found RU, the music treatment program, literally called me. This God moment. I turned my phone on for 45 seconds to get my mom and my dad's phone number out of it. So when I got to the rehab in Baltimore, I could call them. They gave me 45 seconds. In that 45 seconds, my phone rang. It was B-Rain calling me. Yo, don't get in that car. I'm coming to get you. I'm taking you to the airport. I have a better place for you to go. I was like, what? Don't you work at this one? He's like, yes, it doesn't matter. I have a better place for you to go. He literally drove an hour and a half, lost his job. They fired him for this because he like,
Wow.
yeah, they fired him because I was a patient. He was a worker, patient, confidential, whatever.
Yeah.
They literally fired him. He picked me up, drove me to the airport, got me a plane ticket, put me on a plane. Him and Joe Nestor, if you look that guy up, he's a really big Christian singer as well. Him and Joe Nestor drove me to the airport, put me on a plane, and sent me to Texas. Sent me to Texas to RU, and changed my fucking
And then you
life.
you got a birthday cake.
Man,
because
dude,
you know
I
what
tell
I'm
those
saying?
guys all the
Like,
time, they saved my fucking life. If I would have went back to Baltimore, I'd be dead.
Yeah.
1,000% chance. I'd be dead. Those dudes saved my fucking life, dude.
Man.
Saved my life. But recovery for me now, dude, it looks like life. You know, like
A lot of normal shit.
yeah, man. Like I'm a dad to the fullest. I love my son more than anything in the world. I didn't even know I was capable to love something that much.
Yes.
You
Wild-
know? Like,
wild shit.
Yeah, like I had no clue the amount. Like, you know, you fall in love with girls and you love your mom, you love your dad, and like
Yeah.
you think that's what love is, and then you have a child,
Yeah.
and it's like, bro, I'll flip the fucking world over.
Purest shit
you know?
ever.
Like literally, whatever I will run through anything.
Yeah.
Like, whatever I need to do.
It's like watching your heart walk outside of your body.
Oh fuck, bro.
Right?
Man, dude. And there's no, you know, it's like the little moments with him that just keep me going now. It's like, you know, even now, like you were saying, I'm so hard on myself. Like I'll make songs, and I'm even at a point right now, like you've probably seen, I haven't been posting that much on Instagram, and it's literally because like I'll go to think of it, and then my mind will tell me like, no, like that's not good enough. You got to think of something better.
Yeah.
You know, and I get in these slumps where I feel that way, and I feel like I'm out of energy and tired all the time, and then we'll like get in the car, and my son will be like, "Daddy, turn on I Gotta Grow,"
Yeah.
which is like one of my songs, and he'll start singing that shit,
Yeah.
and it's just like those are the moments where it's like I feel like that's just God being like, you know, it's tight that you feel that way. Your inner bitch is like hoeing the shit out of you
Yeah.
right now, but like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you got this little kid who's about to face the entire world, you know, so why don't you show him some shit's possible?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, he's
Man.
gonna face the entire world with his dad too.
dude.
You know, in the
Fuck.
best place that you've ever been.
Man.
So we want to get into recovery and where you're at.
The climb and the peak.
Yeah.
I want the climb and the peak. We want to end it on a high note.
Absolutely.
So, and you have a real high note, man. Like,
You just dropped an album.
Dude, I did. Yeah, 200,000 streams already.
Come on.
It might be more than that.
What's
but
it called,
What's
dude?
it
Where
The
called?
Road Back.
The Road
is the
Back.
name
What's
of it.
what's your channel or anything?
I am Cricchi everywhere.
Cricchi.
IAMCRICCHI. Yeah, that's on all platforms everywhere.
We'll get it added on this for this episode too.
Good
To me,
man. I
dude, like,
appreciate it.
I'm not just saying this because we have relations, we're friends,
Yeah.
you know, because I appreciate you. I'm saying this because I truly mean you are in my top 5 artists that I listen to.
I appreciate that.
You're in my top 5 favorite artists. I Gotta Grow. I mean, you already
Yeah.
knew when we performed at Riff Raff together.
Yeah.
I knew every word. I know every word to it.
Yeah.
Because that song, that's just, bro. You have a unique ability that I haven't found in many artists that resonate.
I appreciate
in
that, man.
all ways. Like some just sound sonically good. Some the lyrics are just good.
Yeah.
You mesh sonically sounding good, realness, rawness,
I appreciate it,
vulnerability.
man. I'm in it to save lives, dude. I think of the times where I was laying in bed withdrawing off Percocets and didn't want to live, and and then I turned on like a Caskey song.
Yeah.
Or a Mercury song.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like those songs saved my fucking life that night.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's why I have songs with them now. Like people don't understand that. They think, oh, you just got a feature because these are big artists. Like, no, motherfucker. I did that because they saved my life.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to feature with you.
They saved my love, bro. Love. Don't make me cry, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Don't make me cry, motherfucker. But for real, man, like these motherfuckers saved my life. And it was like, how fucking dope is it that, however many years ago, I was laying in bed withdrawing off of pills and listening to their music for it to save my life. And now I'm in a place where I have them on the same song as me.
Yeah, it's
Right?
fucking tight.
Dude.
The same song as me. And these are platinum recording artists. Like this
Yeah.
isn't a small bout. Like it's like
Yeah.
when you hop into the ring with, Ali type
Yeah.
shit. It's like these are fucking goats, greats, millions and millions and even billions of streams. And it's like those are the moments where it's like full circle, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
fucking
Full
got
fucking
here.
circle.
Yep.
Yellow Wolf's next, dude. He
Yeah.
saved my life in his music, dude. He's next,
I actually
bro.
like him a lot.
I'm on the fucking way, Yellow Wolf. If you see this shit, I'm on the way, brother.
Yeah.
You'll
Subscribe
fucking
to the
see me.
podcast.
Yeah, right.
I am
For
Cricchi's
real.
channel.
Yeah, man.
Let's go.
Yeah, man.
Follow Joey the Moron.
So yeah, man.
How real was that when you did those features with them?
Oh my god, bro. I cried. I want to say I cried for both of them. The Caskey one, I sent him the song. I still got my addict manipulative tendencies where I'm like, maybe if I send them the song first and they like it, they won't charge me as much. Or like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
versus just being like, hey, how much for a feature? Be like, hey,
Yeah.
can I send you something? And if you like it, let me know. Let me know what it is. And man, like when I sent Caskey that song, his response was literally, "This is a breath of fresh air. This is amazing, brother." And it was like to get that from him, someone that I
Yeah.
had looked up to for so long. Like we talk about how like we just look for that from other
That positive,
men
yeah.
figure, yeah. Dude, that was like a forklift took me and was just like held me up, and I was like, I fucking got this. And then I sent Mercules the song "Losers Winning," and he literally replied and was like, "This is a fucking hit, bro. Like this is a hit. Like it's not just a good song, it's a fucking hit." And that to me was just like, fuck. Like it's like when I don't believe in myself, bro, God's puts these people in my life to be like, what the, like, motherfucker, believe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
For
you're
sure.
still fucking here, bro.
Yeah.
Like you should be dead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
You should be beyond dead. Overdosed multiple times. My mom found me once. I've been found in a Wawa parking lot. I've been shot at, been stabbed. I've been beaten, to a pulp. Like it's like you should be dead.
Yeah.
And you're still here. Believe.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line.
There's a reason you're still here.
Yeah, man. And like now I'm at a place where, when I first got clean, I had, my wife laughs about it all the time. I literally had just like cargo shorts with cigarette holes all in them, basketball shorts, cigarette holes all in them, tank tops, and that was it. Like I bought my first little silver chain at like, 9 months clean, and I was so proud of it, bro.
Yeah.
And it's like now I got 5,000 worth of jewelry on my neck, which is a big fucking mistake. Let me just say that. Like it's cool, you know what I'm saying? I enjoy it. And when I bought it, I was very proud of myself. I bought one for each year of sobriety, like 1 year.
Oh, that's awesome.
1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and then the big cross was 5 years.
Nice.
So I bought one every year, and it's like that's my little, you know, like,
Thing.
yeah, and a reminder. It's just like, you know, I do this a lot. I hold on them a lot, and a lot of times I do that, and it's just like a strength thing. It's like, motherfucker, you made it this far. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't
It's
you
like a new
don't you
chip
want
every
20
year.
fucking chains around your neck.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but yeah, man. So it's like I went from a place where I had nothing. Literally nothing, fucking nothing. I couldn't even pay the rent at the sober house I was living. And then I was working landscaping jobs and waking up at 6 a.m., not getting home till 6 p.m. and just like killing myself every day, to a place where now I'm able to create music to help other people and live.
Yeah.
Right? I'm a father. I'm buying land. I'm building a house. I'm not just buying a house. I'm building a house, building our dream home on you know, acreage. It's like I have my car, I have my truck, I have my dirt bikes, all these things that I had when I was 17 that I loved and dreamed about as a kid. I have all that back. I have not only all of those, you know, itemized things back that I love so much, but the people. Like I have my wife, I have my father, and I have a better relationship than we've ever had. I've heard my dad say he's proud of me more times than I can count now. My mom is who kicked me out of her house. You know, who was like, you can't stay. Somebody shot up my mom's house looking for me. And it was like, you can't stay here. Like my life's, you know, in danger when you're here. There's fucking bullet holes in the side of my house. I actually went home not long ago to repair her house from all the damage I had done when I was getting high so she could sell it and move to Texas. That felt fucking great.
Yeah.
Right? Like when you can spend thousands of dollars on your mom's house to fix it so she can make a little bit of money. Best feeling in the fucking world, right? Like there were times where I was throwing bong pieces through a window because she wouldn't give me money for weed. You know what I'm saying? Literally, bro. Like the bowl piece of a bong, fucking 40 mile an hour through her bedroom window, and it just fucked up things, man. And you know, I'm able to give her something that is priceless, and that's peace of mind. Like my mom, the only time my mom would sleep good is when I was locked up. It's the only time, literally.
Yeah, I've
she
heard
would
that
tell
a
me
lot.
all the time, like. The only time I get peace is when you're in jail. At 22, she picked my coffin out, dude. 22 years old, she picked me a coffin. Yeah,
Same with mine.
22, and
why I love
I
that.
was sure I was gonna die. Like I was pretty fucking sure. Like I'd been shot at multiple times, never hit. Shot at a couple things. We won't talk about what happened after, but like I thought I was gonna die.
Right.
You know what I mean? Either somebody was gonna kill me, I was gonna kill myself, or I was gonna overdose or something. And now it's just so crazy, man. I look at my son. I look at the life I live, and I look at the people I'm able to help, and it's like none of this would have been possible with one give up.
Right.
One fuck it moment. One. It's taken me 6,000 steps to get to where I'm at on this staircase. All it takes is one step backwards to fall all the way back down that motherfucker, and fast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So quick.
Man, and I keep that shit in my head daily, bro. Like I said, I don't necessarily go to meetings all that much. I'm super close to God. Like that has become like my rock, right? Like I would do things where like my wife's my rock, my mom's my rock.
Yeah.
God never dies. And I say that in like a, you know, people pass away. That's part of life. People pass away. And you can't have a rock that falls from behind you, even if it's unintentional.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like people pass away, things happen. So I lean to God, man. And I've just gotten so close to him over time. It's like, you know, I'll say a prayer or something. My wife will be like, you talk to God like that? I'm like, man, that motherfucker knows what's up, dude.
Yeah.
He knows what the fuck it is. Like he accepts me the way I am. He loves me the way I am. He accepts the way I speak. You know what I mean? All he asks is that I do the next right thing. Right. And I tell him that shit all the time. I'm like, bro, when you keep doing the next right thing, even if it's something little, you're walking down the street and you see a fucking straw paper rolling down the street. It's like, bend over and pick the motherfucker up. Put it in your pocket.
Yeah.
Throw it away when you get home. That something just that little, bro, can build your confidence. It can make you feel better about yourself.
Make you feel good.
Yeah, your integrity, man. You gotta. What you feed is what you become. If you
Yeah.
feed the dog and the wolf in you, you're gonna keep getting hungry.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that's what it is. If you feed your integrity, if you feed self-discipline, if you feed self-respect, self-love, when you feed those things, bro, they fucking grow, and they grow to a point where it's like, what I don't need to talk negative. I don't need to think negative because it's like I've grown to a point where I believe, you know what I mean? And that's kind of where I'm getting to now, man. Like I feel like I'm at at a weird point in recovery where it's like I'm still so hard on myself, but I'm finally starting to believe that like this is purpose for me. You know what I mean? Moments like that where you tell me shit like that, it's just like, fuck, bro, this shit grabs my heart. And it's just like all that shit you went through, like all that shit, bro. I think of all the times I went through in my life, and it's just like, fuck, you know? Like I get teary eyed. I start to like, just like, fuck, bro. So much shit I wish I would have changed. But like, if I changed that, what if I would have never wrote the song to save this dude's life?
Right.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
You had to,
shit's heavy, bro.
You had to go through all of that though to get
to where
there.
you are.
So
Man.
It's like that status I posted on Facebook the other day. I think you commented on it. Every day, it's like my dreams come true.
Bro. And that's what I told you.
and it's not
Keep doing the next right thing,
Right.
and that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
That's what it fucking looks like. When you do the next right thing, bro, that is what life looks like. You know what I mean?
It's not even necessarily the grandiose thing.
No.
It's not about, you know.
There's not going to be a big moment. There's not going to be. I've been waiting for that moment my whole life in music.
it's
like
little ones.
Yeah,
it's the
like
little one.
Waiting
it's the
for
birthday
this
cake.
big. Yeah, dude. Like
Yeah.
I've been waiting for this big moment of somebody to come. Like we want to sign you. Here's $1 million. You know,
Yeah.
it's not that, bro.
Right.
That's not the beauty of it. The beauty of it is I've been struggling and working my ass off to make music happen for me. And along the way, while I'm putting in $30,000, $40,000 a year and only making $4,000 back, like I saved his life.
Yeah.
I saved somebody else's life. People message me all the time and say I saved their life. That's priceless.
Yeah, you
That's
can't-
fucking priceless, bro.
Yeah.
You can't put a price tag on that. So it's like when people tell me like you need to focus more on the money, it's like no, the fuck I don't. The money will come.
You're-
The money will come.
Well, you didn't start it to get the money. Like we didn't start this
I started
podcast
to save my fucking self.
Yeah, we started this podcast not to make money. We started to fucking get the word out there and help save some other people.
Absolutely, dude. And that's what it's about,
And
bro.
you know,
That's
all
what
that
it's
other
about.
shit will come if it's God's will. It's God's will.
God made broken people to save broken people.
Right.
That's it.
One thing I found is like people want to be seen and people want to be heard.
Yeah.
And we have a fucking vehicle here to help do that.
Yeah.
That's what I love about these guys. God placed you, Mike, moron, JB, fucking the people that, you know, the people that I'm in, you know, work with in recovery, the
Yeah.
Robert Whites, the Tyler Walkers, kind of the Slade Skaggs, all these people, I just
They all have a purpose.
they
in your
all
life.
came in. It's like they came at
Yes.
the perfect fucking time.
Yes.
And they
Man, my buddy always says that coincidences are miracles when God chooses to remain anonymous. And
that's a
there's
heavy one.
Yeah.
so many
Yeah.
coincidences. Like I used to not be the most spiritual.
Yeah.
I believed in God,
Yeah.
but I didn't think I was worthy of God.
Yeah.
And I didn't think that I deserved him. And when I heard that, and then all these things started falling in place, I was like, for me to sit here and say there's no such thing as God, I would be fucking insane.
I'm telling you.
It'd be insane. Like there's too many things. And then like what she was saying, like I used to live in the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. Like, man, I wish I would have done this or did this or
100%,
did this.
yeah.
But where I'm at now, I wouldn't change any of
No.
it because it's gotten me to where I am, and it's going to continue to get me to where I'm going.
Yeah.
And it's going to continue to help people that we reach out to.
Man, you really got to think about it. Like when people are sitting and feeling sorry for themselves, like for anybody watching this that might have a little clean time, right? And that's sitting there thinking like, you know, I'm broken. I don't like stop fucking being selfish.
Yeah.
It's not always about you. Like I said, that's what I've learned about this music shit. Like it's dope when I go perform. I want to take my moment and shine on stage,
Sure.
but it's not fucking about me. It's about them people that paid money to come watch you.
Yeah.
They did that because there's something they are looking for, right? Give that to them, bro.
Yeah.
Give that to them.
Yeah.
And even people that buy my albums, buy my merch, anything like that. It's not, for me, it's not about the money. It's like, what are you getting from that? Like, I hope you're getting something from that. You know what I mean? And you just can't, you can't ignore things, man, when they're setting your life like that. Like y'all were talking about the cameraman, like he's excited, ready to,
Yeah.
like you can't, it took me over 10 years to build the team that I have now, man. And it's like when God blesses you with certain pieces to a puzzle, put that motherfucker together, dude.
Yeah.
Put it together, bro.
Yeah, for
Don't
sure.
sit there and fucking stare at it, man. Because
Yeah.
eventually he's going to be like, well, you don't need that piece. You don't need that piece. You
Yeah.
don't need that piece. You know what I mean? Put that shit together, bro. I got a one-touch rule in my life. If I see something and I want to do it, I touch it one time. right? Like, so if I want to make a song, I go in the studio for 4 hours, I perfect the song, and I walk out of there with it. I don't go do half a song, come back next time, do half a song, come back next time, do half. I do the one touch rule because I literally have trained my mindset to be like, we're starting this to finish it.
Yeah.
We're not starting
good.
this,
That's
you know, we're not starting this to set it down later. We're
Half-ass
starting this
everything.
to finish. Yeah, and it's crazy because I see it leaking into other areas of my life when I'm doing lawn work or carpentry or something. And I'll like go till 5 p.m. with no lunch, you know, few water breaks and like
Yeah.
all this shit. And it's like, nah, when you're finished, you can fucking eat.
Yeah.
Like that's my mindset. You know what I mean? And it's a powerful thing, man.
Yeah.
It's a powerful thing when you think that way because it's like what can get in your way? What? Nothing got in my way from getting dope. Not a fucking thing.
Yeah.
Not a thing. Literally. Like
Nothing.
you know, Jesus could have came down and been like, don't do that. And I've been like, I'll pray to you tomorrow,
Yeah,
bud.
well,
You know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah.
gonna go cop this.
Yeah.
Holla at me when I'm high, bro. You know, so yeah, bro. It's nothing. Don't let nothing stop you, man. And if you're in early recovery, bro, you're fucking worth it. Pray. That's what I did. Man, I thought I wasn't worth it. I thought it was time for me to get out of this world. And I got on my knees in rehab and I went to pray. And literally the thought that just entered my mind so fast was like, you're alive, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, you're fucking alive, aren't you?
Yeah.
If you weren't meant to stay sober, if you weren't meant, you'd be dead.
Yeah.
Trust me. I have
And-
best friends that are no longer here. Family members, well, not family members, but I see them as family, you know, that are no longer here. Those are the people that weren't supposed to make it. You, if you're alive, anybody watching this, if you're fucking alive, if you got breath in your lungs, do something.
That's the start. Yeah.
Man.
Right. Like that's it.
I'm
That's
telling
where
you.
that's where it all starts.
That
is
is
right
it,
there.
man. And if you don't believe in yourself enough, believe in helping someone else until you do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Go make
Really.
it not about you.
Yeah, exactly, man. Don't be fucking selfish about it. I've learned a selfless way of living is very rewarding.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe not financially all the time, but it's like, you know, money. What the fuck is money? If I had a $20 bill right here in front of me and I ripped it in half, what's it worth?
Nothing.
Yeah.
What, I'm gonna spend my whole life?
Fuck that. I'm taping that bitch
Yeah.
back together. We gonna make this
What if
work.
I kept half of it? That's my point,
Oh,
though.
right,
That's my
right.
point, though. If you $20
Right.
here's half, worth nothing, not worth a fucking penny.
Yeah.
Nothing. It's like, why would I spend my life focusing on that when it's like, that's like, you can do things with money, but the beauty is in the journey,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, you see people that are rich and famous all the time that are still broken. They have
Yeah.
all the money that they could ever have. And they're depressed or going through divorces or going through fucking sex
gotta love
trials
yourself,
or whatever.
man.
And it's like, you know, money's good to have. I always say that, but it's not what I'm here for.
No, it can fix your problems. It's just not going to fix you.
No.
That's right.
You know? It's just not going to fix you. Money fix a lot of problems, but it won't fix you.
Also
You know?
brings more problems too.
Yeah, you ain't fucking lying about
Yeah.
that. But if you're a miserable piece of shit before the money, you're going to be
Yeah,
an even
it's
more
same.
miserable
Definitely,
piece
yeah.
of shit after.
Most definitely.
You know?
Well,
you got to
um,
work on yourself.
I heard a thing in a movie. You ever see the movie God's Not Dead?
I don't think so.
Watch it. It's good.
Yeah, I
Really
might have.
good.
That
It's
sounds like a really fucking
really
good
good.
movie.
It's a pretty dope movie.
It
This,
sounds like a good movie.
I'll say this and then we can. But this lady, she's got dementia, right?
Yeah.
And her son is like this big time lawyer. He steps on everybody, treats everybody like shit,
Yeah.
like just the worst person that you could be. But he has everything that you've ever want.
Yeah.
Right. And his sister's like, you need to go visit mom. And he's like, why? She got dementia. She's not even gonna know I'm fucking there.
Yeah.
So he goes and sees her, and he's just sitting there like, and she's just like, and
Yeah.
he's sitting there, and he's
that a
like,
great
She wasn't on drugs,
Yeah.
guys.
Is that a
she's
great
just
impression of somebody with dementia, you dick?
and whatever. And he's like, he's
Mike
laughing.
Oldface.
He's laughing at her. He's like, I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing here.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the worst person in the world, and I have everything I've ever wanted. You went to church every Sunday. You talk to God every day, and look at you. You have dementia. Explain that to me.
Yeah.
And dude, she snaps out of this, and she just says, sometimes the devil gives people everything that they want, so that they never have to turn to God.
Sheesh.
And
that's
she
powerful.
says it, and I might fuck it up, but she said it's your sin is like a jail cell,
Yeah.
but it becomes comfortable.
Yes.
The door's wide open, you can walk out, but you become comfortable right here,
Yep.
and you're like, fuck it, this is just what I am. I've got everything. Why do I need to leave?
Yeah.
She said until that jail cell shuts, and then you're fucking trapped.
Yeah.
You're out of time.
Yeah.
And then she just went back to what she was doing. Like, who are
the
you
stuck
again?
Face, yeah.
But the way the movie did it, it was as if God talked through her to him.
Yeah.
And like he was just befuddled. He was like, fuck.
Yeah.
You know. But I used to always think that, like, man, why does that fucking person have this and this and this?
Yeah.
And I don't. And when I heard that, I was like, that makes so much sense.
It does, man.
Makes so much sense. Because
It
if you never struggle, then maybe you never go to God.
Man. And
You know?
God makes broken people to help broken people,
Yeah.
man. 100%.
If you've never watched that movie, watch that movie. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, I know I will. What'd you say? God's Not
Not Dead.
Yeah, I definitely have to check into
it's a
that.
good movie.
That seems powerful, man. And just remember, man, devil can't create shit.
Mm-hmm.
Can't create shit.
Yeah.
The only thing he can do is use what God's created to fuck you up.
Cheers.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So at the end of the day, you look at all the things that are fucking up people the worst. It's all man-made stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it's all man-made. You look at the stuff that God made, and it's like those are real medicines. Those
Yeah.
are real. You know, stuff like that. It's just like devil can't create, man.
Yeah.
He uses God's vessels, and he gets to them, and then he uses that to drag other people down with him. Man, can't create shit. Can't create nothing.
Well said. Well said. And I think that's a good spot to end it.
Dude, yeah, this has
I
been a
mean-
phenomenal. I could sit here and talk.
We
for
really
like-
could.
Yeah,
We
we,
really
we
could
could
do
make
this.
this a 5-hour podcast.
Yeah, we
could
could turn
too,
this
yeah.
one into
Yeah,
forever.
for real,
And
yeah.
So
Y'all run this up to about 20K, man. We might do another one.
Yeah, hell
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Hell
we
yeah.
might-
Well,
we'll
dude,
do another one.
dude, thank you so much for coming
for
and
real.
giving your time, brother. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, your story is fucking poignant. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
The fact that you're doing what you're doing now, and you got the things going on. For what it's worth, just met you today, and I purposely did that to be oblivious to what it was that you were going on. But I'm gonna listen to every fucking thing you've got now.
I appreciate
me
that.
And I wish you nothing but the best. And you now have all the distinctions, but now you have the best distinction of all. You were the first guest on Two Addicts.
Yeah,
and a
man, I was
Motherfucking
grateful and honored
Yeah.
about that, man. I
Yeah.
told him, man, whenever y'all are ready, I'd love to come on.
Oh,
man.
dude.
I love the conversations y'all have. I felt like I could fit right in this room.
It's going to be
man.
hard
And
for
you
people
did.
to come on after this.
And you
Like,
did,
that's-
brother.
This will be a tough act to
we,
follow.
We had a great time, man.
You
Yeah,
fit
for
right
sure.
in. Thank
We
you
had a great
so
time,
much.
bro.
Thank you, bro.
Absolutely,
It was a good
man.
time. And so season 2, episode 2, Two Addicts and a Moron, and I am Cricchi. Go listen to it.
The road back out now.
Yes, it is.
Ready
out
to breathe
now.
out now.
IamCricchi.com, man. IamCricchi.com. Everything available there, man. And thank y'all for giving me a platform to come on here and be open and honest, man. I've had to shut my mouth on a lot of podcasts just due to the shit that
Oh,
you know.
never
I
have
don't
to do it
necessarily
here,
wanna
brother.
Trigger.
You'll never have to do it here.
I
promise
love it,
you.
man. I love every part of it, man. Y'all are doing great. I can't wait to see this grow into something crazy, man. 1 million
Thank you so
subscribers
much.
coming soon, dude.
Coming soon,
I can
baby.
see
Let's
it.
go.
I can
Thank
see
you
it,
so
man.
much.
Coming soon, dude.
Thank you so
Coming soon.
much. Two Addicts and a Moron, over and out.
Deuces.
Two morons, maybe. Saying,
There's